Today on Performance TV, Joe and Kathy give a pickup some lift, help fight rusty parts, and discover the right tools for a diesel engine repair.
Welcome to this week's Performance TV, where we are talking about trucks and big trucks like our Ford F-350 that we have here in the studio with us today. You know, just because it's a big truck doesn't mean that people don't want, a few more inches to make it a little bit taller, to give you a little bit more ground clearance. And the people at Tough Country, well, that's what they've been doing since 1989. Now, they have a 2-inch lift kit for the 2017 and 2018 truck like we have in here today, but we are going to go bigger with their brand new 4-inch lift kit, their performance kit. You're going to see a big difference in the way this truck looks, but not so much in the way that it rides, because Tough Country really takes a lot of pride in making sure the truck, even though you've lifted it, still has a very similar to stock feeling ride with their easy ride suspension. Okay, so can you do this at home? Absolutely, and we're going to show you how to do that today. But first, let's take a little bit of a look at some of the different parts that we have that we've already disassembled from our 2018 F-350. This is your radius bar, the arm that came out of the truck. Big difference with what you're going to find from Tough Country. Now, one of the things here we're going to be able to do is we're not going to have to use the drop-down arm. So you're going to have a lot more clearance with the truck. Say if you want to go out and do some climbing or crawling around on different stuff, you're not going to have to worry about hitting things quite as much. And with the Tough Country radius arm, it's going to make so much of a difference because it's going to correct the caster of the truck, so that way it's going to ride the way it's supposed to. We're looking at the factory spring here. Big difference because we're lifting the truck 4 inches. We're going to do it in the front, we're going to do it in the back, so we've got everything you need right to the back of the truck where this was our original. So that way you're going to have the nice 4-inch lift all the way through on the truck. And I know Joe has got started, so what do you say we check in?
We've got the front half of our F-350 pretty much done, and I got to tell you, the folks at Tough Country have done a great job with these instructions. 54 steps to glory. Step by step, if you follow them, you can do it. Now, I highly recommend you've got a buddy or a friend to help, maybe even 2. You can do it on jack stands, but a lift is definitely the best way. First step, remove the shocks, follow them step by step. They'll tell you exactly how to do it, and they supply absolutely everything. As you can see on our F-350, the springs stand out because they're absolutely beautiful, powder coated, the look you want. Remember though, a lift kit is not just about the look. It's about the ride and where you can go and what you can do with your truck. Rock crawling, climbing, dirt roads, they will be open for you if you do it right. Remember, you got to retorque after you go off-road though. Check out the track bar relocation bracket. It's all about geometry. A suspension is all about geometry, and they have got it all figured out. And boy, is this thing beefy. It is not going anywhere. Great powder coat job as well. The sway bar drop brackets. You can see when you move the truck, everything has to move with it. They do a great job. It looks like it's right from Ford. It's very beefy, tough. Again, you must retorque after 100 miles. The steering stabilizer bracket. Steering, a lot of turning, a lot of moving going on there. They want to make sure it's locked down, and what a great piece this is. That goes on very, very easily. The bump stop drop bracket. Both sides, you just want to relocate your bump stops so you keep that same ride you're used to on the road. When you go off-road, then you can have a whole lot of fun. They've really got it going on. And then, of course, the most beautiful part of it, the radius bars, got the Tough Country logos on there. Whether you're off-road or in a show, people are going to know you're rocking the Tough Country Easy Ride system. Again, you want to retorque. You want to go see your alignment shop after you get it all done. This is nothing that you can't handle. You just got to take your time, torque everything down, use Loctite, and follow the step-by-step 54-step instructions they provide. And if you have a problem, and sometimes that happens, they have got a customer service hotline to help you get it done. I can't tell you how excited I am to see this thing on the ground. When you go off-road, you're going to be able to hit anything you want, maybe even through a stream. You'll have the clearance for those giant 36-inch tires that you're looking for, and you'll be clear off of the ground as well. Now, we've got the front complete. Again, it was a lot of work. We've still got the back to take care of. So we're going to take a quick break here on Performance TV, and we're going to get this Empire Ford Lincoln F350 ready to go on the back half.
Performance TV is being brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. ProMax, engineered performance. Hemsaw, the saw that cuts straight. And by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977.
Welcome back to Performance TV as we continue our lifting of our Ford F350 and a really cool 4-inch performance lift kit from Tough Country. And Joe, just going to let you know, you did a pretty good job on the front, and I know it was really tough, but the back, it's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, and it's all you, man.
In fact, Kathy, why don't you hold this for a second for me while I go to work?
Wow. You know what?
Beefy.
They make, yeah, the beefy. Tough Country makes everything tough and ready to go out on the trail.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't think I was going to stand there and hold that the whole time, did you?
I did, actually. That was
No,
my
that's
plan.
Perfectly all right.
So we're taking these loose, obviously. We're going to release these U-bolts. We're going to lower the rear end. The shock has already been removed.
And we're not going to use those because we've got all new nuts that come with our U-bolts.
But I like to save them. Some people don't like to save, they discard. I'm not about that. What if we want to put it back to our stock configuration? And so if that were to happen, you can always go to a box in the garage or in the cellar, wherever you have, and pull back out your stock configuration.
It's like a little tilting just to get those out.
Yeah, a little, just got to fight it a little bit and you can do it.
Right. That out of there.
But as you said, much easier than the front.
Well, there's a lot going on in the front. You're
Whole
dealing
lot
with the
going on.
steering and everything else.
All right, so now we are going to lower the rear end and take out these blocks.
Yep. We'll go ahead and reach in. Snag the factory out, which you can see is a lot shorter.
And as we lower the rear end, giving ourselves clearance to fit the block in there, and as pinned, it's got a keyway. So there's only one way to go in, which is nice.
Right. Sometimes you may have to pull down on the rear end just a little bit. Go ahead. Let's just get this out of the way for just a quick second. Pull that down. There you go.
And then we start to raise back up.
It's back under here. There we go. Got it.
Now you're going to want to use the blaster lithium grease on all the moving parts. That is very important, but look at that. It's going right back into position.
There we go. I think that's good. Now we can go ahead and see about putting our new U-bolts on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and today we're working on this brand new Ford F350, but Tough Country has, whether you have a Chevy, the Silverado, the Avalanche, the Suburban, the Colorado, go into the GMCs, a complete line of Ford trucks, Dodge. I mean, whether you're trying to do a leveling kit or the lift kit like we're doing here, they've got something for everybody. I mean, they've been doing this since 1989.
There we go.
That one on. The front, and all of this is made in the USA, Joe.
Which is very important to me, Kathy. I'm all about Americans working, jobs, all that. Sometimes you got to fight it, but it went in.
Hey, that's what it's like when you're doing something cool sometimes. There you go.
If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. Well, wait, we want everybody to do it. Now, as you mentioned, they provide hardware. And their hardware is really, really tough, but what would you expect?
All right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and snag a couple of these.
Yeah.
And go ahead and
Get
get them
going.
started. How about I help on this side here?
I would love it. I would love it. And our jack is maybe a little bit in our way, but once we get started,
There we go.
can.
And of course, there's going to be a lot of different torquing that we're going to need to do on all of these different parts.
And you want to get hand tight, and you want to tighten these things down all together to keep everything in alignment.
There we go. I got you started.
Good job. Way to go, Kathy. You can do more than just talk.
And make sure that we back that down a little bit and move it out of the way. It should draw it right back up in there.
And just like everything, you don't want to make sure anything is cross-threaded. And if it starts to go wrong, stop and start again. You'll be happy you did.
And we're not going to tighten everything just yet. Just going to snug everything up. All right, well, we still have all of this to do here. Now we're going to go ahead and get the shock installed. And Joe, you've already sprayed a little bit of our blaster.
I blasted it.
Yes, our white lithium grease, which is something you want to do. It's going to help make it last a little bit longer, and you're not going to hear a bunch of squeaks. We're going to get this tied up. We need to get it back on the ground so we can also do some torquing on the front as well. And then we have a little bit of eye candy to add to our F350, and we'll do that right after this on Performance TV.
Performance TV coming from Borla Commerce Park.
And we're back with more Performance TV, and the truck turned out really sweet with our 4-inch Performance lift kit from our friends at Tough Country. Tell you what, you're really going to be able to do some off-roading. Look how much space that we have here, and of course, the new eye candy that we have, nice big wheels and tires. You know what? Joe has got to be up to something. What do you got, Joe?
A few weeks back, Jeff Del Rosa from ProMax Tool was by to show us some cool ways to save time when working on diesel engines. Jeff is back, and you've got some products for Chevy, Ford, and Dodge to help save time for those technicians who maybe had a problem under the hood.
Correct. Thanks so much, Joe. Yeah, exactly. The exhaust manifold repair kit is repair job is one of the most difficult, challenging jobs for technicians today. A lot of them don't even like it, okay, because it's so difficult and challenging. What we've done, though, is we've developed a jig or tool, a repair kit to be able to do these repairs fast, quickly, and efficiently for the technician.
Well, let's show it.
This particular one does both Ford gas and diesel. It's at the 6460 International Harvester engine down here, and it's got the Ford modular engine. This head is a 5.4 liter engine head from Ford. It's a 3-valve, and by the way, this works on 2 and 3-valve version. Simply put, all they have to do is set the bushing over the bad stud. They can set it here, here, flip it upside down, and so on and so forth. For the sake of this review, we're going to assume this one's broken up. Now, what's unique about ours is it's very, very thin. It's only 3/8 of an inch thin, and we can bolt it up real quickly with these stainless steel fasteners that we provide. Now, sometimes what happens, Joe, is technicians will get in a situation where there's more than one bolt broken off. So what do? Well, in fact, if we have 2 open tapped holes, we can mount the tool. What if I only have one? It's unusual, but it happens.
That's a tough day.
Exactly. So now what do? Well, what we can do is we have an alignment pin that we make, precision-made stainless steel, and let's assume at this point that one's broken, this one's open, but that one's also broken. What do? Slip this pin in there, it lines the tool up perfectly, we can tighten it down, and now we can drill it, fix it, repair it with only one open tap hole. Super fast. For the sake of this review, we'll go ahead and tighten it up, and Joe, just go ahead and take this bit. That's our machine tooling bit, and check it in that fit in that bushing. The biggest problems they have is getting on center and getting straight. That tool right there gives them dead center alignments within 3/1000 of an inch, perfectly perpendicular.
And that's going to help you pull it out. If you're off center at all, it totally changes the dynamic.
Exactly. Secondarily, what happens is it's not uncommon for a technician to go drilling and then drilling right into the cooling jackets, and antifreeze comes out, ruining and damaging a cylinder head.
Oh, then you've got a major problem.
It's a bad day. So what we did is we put a drill depth gauge right in the right-hand side of the tool. Simply snug your tool up into your tooling bit into your drill truck, and you go ahead and set it, tighten it. Now you can avoid the risk of damaging the cylinder head. Real simple.
Very simple.
To make it easy to get behind the shock tower, which is very difficult on some of the models, they either have to lift the engine up, push it over, etc. It takes a lot more time. What we did is to save time and space. We came up with a drill chuck that just simply snaps on a 1/4-inch drive air ratchet.
Just like that.
Make it small, compact.
Air ratchet becomes a drill.
Exactly. And because it's detachable, we put we put the chuck on the bit first and we sneak in our air ratchet. This particular ratchet is from ProMax. It's 500 RPM, 55 foot-pounds of torque, and a 1/4-inch drive package. Super fast and powerful, one of the most powerful on the market. In fact, it's the one few of them that you can actually drill with because it turns fast enough. Then to help the technicians, we come up with a nice little cap that snaps right on over there. They can put the pry bar behind it, behind the shock tower, and they get more pressure, more drilling efficiency out of that. super fast.
All to pull out broken
Right,
studs.
exactly. So now we've drilled it, we've got it ready, we can take our plate off, but what the problem now is we have to contend with this burr as a result of the stud breaking off below the surface of the head. What do we do then? And you can see there, Joe, what's going on.
The broken stud, and there is a burr on it, and that's going to hold it down in the bolt hole.
Precisely. What happens is in a violent breakage, under tension, that burr digs right into that soft aluminum head. They just won't come out. Plus, in addition, they've got corrosion that starts corroding inside there, and all that gunk is in there, okay, Joe? So they've got to get all that stuff out. What they do is they take the plate off, they can run that in there, and in just 5 seconds, it knocks that burr off, flattens that stud, and takes all that corrosion out, make it look brand new. Then, it's easy. They take their extractor, they mark it, they drop it in, 1/4 inch deep, turn it, and they're done. And this is what it looks like when it comes out.
And there you have it.
Super fast.
And
Dead center.
every job that takes more time than you would like is keeping your client off the road, so they're not making money, assuming it's commercial business. And if you're in your own shop, to have a car, or truck, or diesel in there, it's going to slow you down as well. So every job that you can pick up 30% time, that's more money you're going to make down the road.
That's a great point. In fact, we're going to save them about 50 to 70% because a lot of times they'll spend a day on this because they can get in a situation, particularly if they get in a situation where they break an extractor off. They break an extractor off, then it's curtains. We fixed that problem. This kit now comes with an optional extractorless version. What you can do is drill it, tap it, run a tap in, restores the threads to factory new, and you're done. Super fast. And about 15 minutes a stud on average.
Made
A little faster, sometimes a little bit longer.
Made in America and award-winning. Jeff, thank you so much. You're welcome. A great product. Check out the website, promaxtool.com. You diesel techs, you might need this. For more Performance TV, stick around. We'll be back after this.
Performance TV is being brought to you by Stage 8 Locking Header Bolts. Learn more at stage8.com. Steele Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Custom Automatic Conversions, Allison Transmission Conversion Specialist. And by EVAPO-RUST, super safe rust remover.
Welcome back to Performance TV. You know, you see a lot of different ideas on the internet about how to get rid of rust. Well, David, we have EVAPO-RUST, of course, we know does a tremendous job, but we want to see how it kind of stacks up with some of these other home remedies.
Right. You get a lot of advice on the internet, and a lot of it's worth what you pay for it. Right. So we're going to test cola, EVAPO-RUST, and vinegar. These are pretty common. So we've got a rusty item, and we've got a piece that has mixed metals. It's a piece of a carburetor. So we're going to start and just drop them in there and see how they do. So we'll take our carburetor and drop it into vinegar, and our rusty part and drop it into vinegar.
Yes, I'll let you do the vinegar part.
Yeah, then we're gonna drop EVAPO-RUST. Let's drop this in because it's got more soft parts, and we're gonna drop that in. If you wanna do the cola.
I'll go ahead, put that in there. Oh, and we went all the way in on that one.
That's all right, that's fine.
And stick that.
All right, super.
Well, it fizzes. Does that mean anything?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll leave these sit for a little particular amount of time and come back and kind of check out what our results are. Well, David, we're back to see how some of these internet tips work and if they actually remove rust or not.
Yep, well, let's start off with the vinegar. Let's take a look at it. Here we've got this carburetor piece in here, and you can see it's removed the plating off of this piece, whatever it was, and it's actually gotten into the metal a little bit. Vinegar is an acid, so it's going to eat into soft metals. But let's see how it did on some rusty parts here. You can see there's still quite a bit of rust left.
Yeah,
it takes some rust off, but it's slow.
Extremely slow. It smells. It's obviously corrosive to some of the parts and pieces that we're trying to do. And we've had this stuff in here for about 2 hours. So speaking of corrosive sometimes, our cola, I got to get down in here and get this is our rusty piece. We'll just start off with this one and see if it's really removing.
It didn't really do anything.
No, it's not really doing anything here. It bubbled a lot when we first dropped it in. So how about this?
The power of carbonation.
When we take a look at some of this,
it didn't do.
It's not really doing a whole
anything.
lot.
See where we rusted it down in there? It's still solid rust. So,
yeah. So you know, you see a lot of this stuff. Well, it was on the internet. Well, not necessarily true, but we do know what's true with EVAPO-RUST, and this stuff's not smelling or anything like that.
Nope. And you can see our part here is completely
Check that
derusted.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a big difference. Look at this between the two.
Well, let's look at the 3. There we
Three,
go.
you can just see that. And that's all, we dropped them in all about the same
At
exact
exact
time.
same time.
2 hours, not hurting anything. How about our carburetor here, which we have different types of metals, like you were saying,
Yeah, nothing has happened. The rust is gone,
right?
but the parts are fine. There's no damage to the metal at all. All it's going to do is find what's rusty, eat the rust, and then quit.
Right, and if we had anything that would have been painted or anything like that, you'll just see what color the paint should have been.
And the nice thing about this is it's reusable. People say, well, I want to use vinegar because it's cheap. Well, a gallon of vinegar costs about $3. Even if you use it right, you get one use out of it. With EVAPO-RUST, you get many uses. It's actually less expensive to use EVAPO-RUST, and it works better, and it's safer, and it doesn't smell bad.
Exactly, it does not smell bad. You just keep that down there, first of all. Yeah, because it's definitely smelling. So we have our parts, they're all been done. We get rid of our rust. We may not be, putting our project back together right away. So what do we want to do to keep the rust from coming back, David?
Spray it with rust block aerosol,
Okay.
which we now have in all O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah, you did have the spray bottle. I really like the aerosol,
The
because
aerosol's
then
nice.
if you're doing something where you got to spray up above or whatever, you're going to have a much nicer stream.
That's right. And once we've gotten that coated like that, it's not going to rust for a year. We get ready to paint it, rinse it with water, dry it. Now we're ready to paint. We've de-rusted it and we've protected it.
Wow. Well, first of all, we debunked some of the stuff that you see on the internet, and we have proved once again that EVAPO-RUST is the safe, easy way to go to remove your rust.
Well, that's all the time we have this week on Performance TV. If you've got a product that you'd like featured, contact Jeff at masterstv.com. We'll see you next week.